Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's last live streaming session. We still have one from our media partners, RTP, which will be streamed later on their channel and hosted on ours. And this is my last, not only mine, but it's my last streaming for today. A hectic day with lots of problems. Already have a second monitor, but better than having a second monitor, I already have our one of our creators of our 50 finalists at IndieX 2021, who is Jamie. Jamie, welcome to our stream dedicated to Power Chord. How are you?
I'm good, Ricardo. Thanks for having us.
So, how are things going? How is Power Chord going in this moment?
It's going pretty good. We just got to release our demo back in the Steam Tabletop Festival a couple of weeks ago. So right now we're bringing in lots of feedback from players and just kind of pushing forward and trying to improve what we've got there. So it's been a pretty exciting time for us.
I have to tell you that I'm a huge fan of deck builders, and I usually have this trick question to developers who developed or are releasing a deck builder, which is, have you played the father of all deck builders? And do you know which one it is?
I don't know where you're going with this one yet. What do you got?
I'm going with the tabletop game that actually got me on track. I don't know if you can see. I have a small part of my board game collection behind me. It all started with the game by Donald R. Vaccarino, which is Dominion, which is the father of all
Okay.
deck builders. We've played it at a board game convention, and it actually is the game not only that got me hooked into deck builders because it created the genre, but also into tabletop board games. So if you have to try it. It's a really cool game. It-
Never got into tabletop games a lot myself, but our designer has come through a lot more deck builders than I have.
yeah,
And so I know the name Dominion, but I
yeah.
have never seen it myself.
It was Game of the Year, if I recall, 2007, and after it opened the floodgate for awesome games like have you played Star Realms? Maybe Hero Realms, Epic.
I, I haven't played that one either, no.
Okay. I there was a time in I believe last 5 or 6 years, no, maybe more. I was only buying deck builders. So both my wife and my group of friends were like, "Please stop buying deck builders. We'd like to try something apart from deck builders." And yeah, but I'm a sucker for deck builders. So Power Chord for me mixes two things that are really dear, which are deck builders and heavy music. So
That was,
yeah, please, JB.
oh, I was going to say that was absolutely the goal there is to try and give something to the metal and rock fans that they maybe haven't seen yet and offer something, kind of a new angle into the deck builders that there hasn't been a lot of either.
No, especially because what we've been having, we have lots of deck builders dedicated to fantasy setting, which is okay, so something that the majority of gamers are into. But specifically with this heavy metal rock aura, I think it's the first one. There's nothing like Power Chord, and we're really happy for having it as one of our 50 finalists. So my suggestion is to dive into Power Chord. What do you think?
I think that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Let's check if everything is going okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Here we have Big Blue Bubble, which is uh, not such a heavy metal name for a studio, but but a great name and an unforgettable name either way, with the three Bs. Something that
It,
caught the eye of everyone, and we got this feedback when people were watching the 50 finalists reel, is that it looks amazing. The idea of bringing this illustrated aura to this game really makes it stand out.
we're
Uh,
really glad to hear that.
yeah. How many people at this moment are developing Power Chord?
At the moment, we are probably around 10 to 12 people who are focused on the game,
Okay.
but that can kind of change as needed.
Where are you guys located? Are you spread all over the place, or are you actually physical studio?
I am actually sitting in the studio right now. We're in London, Ontario.
Okay.
And so we are pretty focused here. The studio's actually been here for over 15 years now, so we've actually managed to survive for a long time. Um, and yeah, the team is all focused here.
So when we dive into Power Chord, we already have Alfonso the Fourth, which is saying hype, hype, hype. We love Power Chord. Welcome, Alfonso. I think it's the first time we read you on this chat. We also love Power Chord, so we're both home in this love for this game. Also have Shiryu GL saying metal. Shiryu, do you want to ask? Today I'm going to let you ask the question. Shiryu is our good friend who worked with us in some projects. In his busy life, he also works for Nintendo Life, and I know he has a question he wants to ask. Tonight I'm gonna let you ask because I'm always anticipating it for you. So go ahead, Shiryu. So while we watch, we're going to play the tutorial. At this moment, we can make our band, and we already have a specific band because this is a tutorial. You predefined it, but your idea is for us to play with it in the future when we unlock more band members, isn't it?
Absolutely. So when we come out with early access, there's going to be a new drummer that's available for you to unlock, and then shortly afterwards, we're going to be releasing the next character from each band slot. So we do want you to be able to mix and match and build your teams because we think that the different characters are really the stars of this game, and how you can combine them in different ways is probably the thing that really sets us apart the most from other deck builders in the genre.
So as you could see before, we had a pretty standard map for a roguelike. We have this road we can take as levels. We don't know what's behind it, doesn't we, Jamie? Our idea is to be surprised because it's procedurally generated.
There are going to be some things that are not as procedural, where right now you'll be working towards the same bosses, but then there's also going to be events and challenges that will encourage you to sort of pick specific paths or continue to specific nodes later on in the map. So we are looking at more ways to break it apart from the standard fare of the sort of roguelike map.
Okay, so in this moment we have some icons before diving into the actual cards, because this is a mechanic I believe it's similar to other games. We now have our bassist and our vocalist with these three with a speech bubble, some kind of speech bubble. What do they mean?
So that is the attack or damage that those characters are going to take this turn. So you can kind of see that there's the threes above your characters, and then if you look above the enemies, each of them is telling you which character they're going to attack.
It's color
and
coded.
How much damage they're going to do. Yep.
Yeah, and it's color coded. Yeah.
It's color coded, and it also goes by the slot number of the characters. So you can see that it's the third character getting hit.
Okay, so in terms of playing our cards, as you could watch when I was playing around with the interface, when we have this card, we can actually assign it to a specific band member. So
that's right.
I'm going to use my augment to my drummer because I'm going to hit the 1-2. And I'm going to choose this one because he's going to attack my vocalist, which is my front woman. 6 damage. Deal 2 damage. Okay, I think I can kill... No, I can't kill someone in the first turn, but I can do this.
Pretty close to killing him.
Yeah. So, standard Deck builder, if you could watch, we have this. I think my draw pile. Yes. This is my discard pile. It has information. I have 3 cards in my discard pile. Yeah. At this moment, our layout is blocking, but behind Jamie's camera, there is an information of both cards that get discarded, but also cards that get exhausted that cannot be used in this battle. If for people that are used to playing trading card games, these are like destroyed cards that are completely put off display, isn't it, Jamie? It's this idea.
Yep. The exhaust pile is for cards that can only be used once per battle. There are other abilities, though, in the game that'll allow you to pull them back in, and those can be really powerful because usually the exhausting cards are something that's pretty strong and can really tip the scales of the battle if you can use it an additional time.
Okay. So I use the random damage since there is only one. He took the 3 damage, and I have 2 actions, and I'm going to give him. Oh no. Okay. This, and I'm going to boost our vocalist's armor, and our turn is done. Nice visuals. The idea for going for a cel-shaded art direction really makes the characters stand out. They are highly memorable. I think it's one of the highest points of this amazing game. So congratulations on the art team. They are spot on.
Thank you. They're going to appreciate the comments.
The well-deserved comment. And about the music, everything is original. Tell me that people in your studio actually are band members and they record this. Yes?
Yep, absolutely. All the music is original, and it's being made by two of our audio guys in house. It was really important for us to do that because you can't have a game based on a metal rock theme and then just have whatever music you find. It was really important that had to stand out and be one of the stars of the game.
So I got 4 cards and I will have a bounty of 35 coins. These cards I unlock it's the roguelike element, so I'm gonna keep it after my run, isn't it?
These cards are the ones that you get just for this run.
Okay.
Once early access comes in, we are going to have a challenge system that allows you to unlock new cards that you can find next run.
Like what? Like a booster system?
Like more powerful cards or additional starting cards for your characters so that you can get a faster start to your run. But the cards you see for that reward screen, those are just for this run. So you're encouraged to just try things out and see how they work. And worst case scenario, you get to make an entirely new deck next time.
But your idea is eventually to have this element where do you want this to be a pure deck builder, like whenever you start you're starting from the same possible pool, or eventually you want us to look at this like in a way leveling or scheming through a new deck in our future runs?
So ideally what you're looking at is every run should be a little bit different. You're not getting exactly the same cards available. So everything should feel unique, or at least you might choose to focus on a different character next time. So maybe this run you're picking up a lot of cards for your base, and next time you might find that you want to try a lot of cards for your guitar or your drum to see how that makes for a different run for you. So it's not so much about building up one deck and getting more powerful as it is about how you pick up new cards and adapt your strategy based on what sort of cards are being offered to you on this.
Yeah. What would be the difference that each band member will take us in future runs when we are able to unlock new ones?
So the new characters that are coming up, I can say that the next drummer, Her ability is that she uses stone charges. And essentially, you build up these stone charges, and then you can choose to either use them as armor or for additional power when you're attacking. So you can decide that in this fight, maybe you need to play it a little bit safer, and so you're using her for armor. Or maybe you decide that you want to be a bit reckless and you're going to go for broke and do a lot of damage with her, and you're willing to take a few hits because of it. So that's our next drummer that's coming up. The guitarist after that, it has abilities where it's gaining heat, and it can build up that heat into an overcharged state where you can do additional damage there. But it's about kind of building up to different kinds of attacks. So generally, everybody is about trying to find different ways to play their cards or to use attacks or damage that's coming in. Some options for how you want to deal with the enemies that you've got.
Because by now I have a pretty limited hand in this early tutorial. What's the average deck size of a run? Do you have any estimation of that?
That will be up to the players and how many cards you want to pick up. Early on, you're probably going to feel like you want to pick up almost every card you see.
Okay.
The longer you play, the more likely it is you're going to start building a smaller deck where you're looking for specific kinds of focuses that you want to make. So I'd say that to start, you're probably going to build a deck that might be 20 cards, maybe up to 30 as you're moving forward. But the longer you play, the more likely it is that you're going to try and end up with a deck that's somewhere around maybe 12 to 15 cards to get a really sort of more control over your deck and make sure that the cards you need are coming up when you need them.
Do you have any hand cleaning mechanic?
We do, yep. So if you go into the shop, you can sell a card off to get that out of your deck. And there's also going to be events that come up along the map that give you the option to remove something from your deck. It's important that you give people that option because you'll occasionally pick up a card thinking it's going to fit into your strategy, but you don't always get the cards that you were expecting. And when that happens, you need to be able to adapt on the run. And sometimes that means removing a card that you're not using very often this time.
Yeah. Shiri was asking is there a Bandcamp site for your colleagues that were creating the music?
I will have to look into that. I think the answer is probably yes. But I will have to follow up with him and see if there's a link out there.
I can't remember if there's already a band called Power Chord, but it would be awesome if they'd go on being an actual band and they were called Power Chord. That would be pretty awesome.
It worked for Death Clock and Metalocalypse, so...
Yeah. And I can't remember if there are those many bands that have a game dedicated to them. I can recall that old Ed Hunter game, which was terrible.
I can't think of too many since Guitar Hero stopped putting out games.
Yeah. I know if I turned the volume a bit lower so that we could speak and people could listen to us, but I don't think if people on the chat are actually noticing how cool the music is, but it's really, really cool. Those kinds of songs that you want to listen, maybe when you're working, just put the official soundtrack and work through the day.
It's absolutely, the soundtrack for the game has been fantastic, and that opening theme, I did have that on repeat the first time I heard it. I probably had that just repeating for an hour or so and never got tired of it. Is absolutely one of the stars of the game is that soundtrack.
Okay, would be awesome if this shock randomly hit this guitar player, the guitar minion, but yeah, it did! I'm a lucky bastard. Alfonso, Alfonso, I bet that you already played this game a lot. If you're this fan of Power Chord. Alfonso is saying that gets stuck in my head all the time. Oh yeah, you can only get the bass and the beats. Yeah, sorry. Sorry for that. Let me ask you a mechanical question. For example, if I use my barrier.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I was going to ask if it would be present until the next damage, but no. In the end, it says it disappears in the deck from deck at the end of battle. But the effect, does it stay?
Yes, the effect stays.
Okay.
So if you put a barrier on a character, they are guarded until the next time they're hit. Okay. It's the card itself will be gone.
How do I know the attack turn for each of the enemies? Do you know why I'm asking this? Because if you notice, I used my barrier on my guitar player, and he was going to get 2 separate damages. He was going to get 6 from this minion bass player, and 1 from the other. So the actual computer could have screwed me up, because I could block the 1 damage and then let the 6th one pass. So how do I know the turn order?
So that happens to be one of the things we found in the demo, that you're not the only person who wondered. So the enemies attack from left to right.
Okay.
And that's sort of your first way of knowing what you're going to be blocking. However, knowing which hit the barrier is going to take has definitely been one of the feedback points that we've received, and it is something we're looking at, is how to make it more clear just which hit it is you're blocking. Because, like you said, that can be pretty important, especially when you get to the boss fight and you want to make sure that you're blocking one of the big hits, and somebody else maybe interferes with that. So.
Okay. Okay, so he had two barriers protecting him. Okay. And my guitar player is going to get 6 damage. Do I have a way of healing characters between rounds?
There's a couple different ways that you can heal characters. There's the rest stops on the map, and right now that heals, I believe it's 20% per character. There's also some events, so some of the question mark maps or nodes on the map. Those give you opportunities to heal. And then your vocalist, Stitch, she has a few abilities you can pick up along the way that are able to help heal the team. So you've got a couple different options there. You have more healing options because of the vocalist you have right now. The next vocalist that gets added into the game, it's going to have different abilities, so it probably won't be healing nearly as much as she can.
What does Rage do?
So
I don't know if
Rage
I skipped the tutorial.
Rage is a charge that this particular guitarist, Grimner, is able to build up. And he builds up Rage by basically getting hit by the enemy.
Okay.
And so you can see that red icon that he's got under the health bar, and basically it gets turned into additional power for some of his attacks.
Let me check the story. The story is here on the top, isn't it? Oh no, this is my deck.
Yep.
Okay, I just got a gear item. And let's go to another. Okay, we have a question mark in our deck. Oof. This is a bigger band. We have the meat shield. Okay, an aggressive drummer. And the plague. Okay. So now we're introduced into damage over time. Let's go for it. Oof, this drummer packs a punch. Let's hit him with poison. 3 damage. Yes. Stitch, isn't it? The name of the vocalist.
It is, yep.
She got. Okay.
So
And dice roll. For damage, let's block him. Okay, let's go. You wanted Melgasis, did you want to say Darkest Dungeon, maybe? Is it? Oh, this guy has a... He's guarding. Okay. This guy's going to attack twice. Let me think. Okay, I'm going to save my augment to that card. That, yeah. So let's do. He's not attacking this turn, but this one is. So let's lower his damage. Let's do damage. Let's do two. Oh yeah, he's taunting. Yeah.
he was being guarded.
Don't care, he's still going down. Darkest dungeon but metal. Yeah, that's a that's a good tagline. Darkest dungeon but metal is pretty sums it up. Okay, so we're going to augment our bassist because he has dice roll, so 3 damage 3 times. This is a pretty cool. And we're going to deal 4 damage and kill this guy because he's going to hit for 5. Ah, he was guarding. He's still going to hit. Okay, so I think I will shield my. Ah, damn! I didn't see Stitch. He's going to get hit with 6. Okay, she'll survive. Okay, so Shiryu or finally posed a question. He was teasing. Switch version. Is it in the cards?
It is planned.
Okay.
It's definitely something where it's on our radar to look into that for the future. At the moment, we're very focused on what early access is going to be and how long that's going to be able to go, how long that's going to go for. But it is definitely something that we're looking at for the Switch.
It plays well. I believe it's suitable for Switch. You can play this in short bursts and get some fulfillment from it.
We think that it can end up playing pretty well there. Fun watching with the delay. I get to hear about it, and then and then I get to see what you plan on or see what you did. So
have you guys been
the reaction first?
Have you guys been doing some streaming or getting some streaming?
We have a little bit, yeah. When the demo was going on, we were trying to get some streaming going there. Because really, that's been the best way for us to find out what people really think of the game and how they're playing it. Just being able to watch people play the game has been great.
This fight is tough. Let me check how. Okay, so my bass player has instability. He's getting more damage per hit received. And he's getting corrosion. Deals armor damage per turn. Okay.
So barriers are going to be your friend here, since corrosion doesn't affect the barrier.
But for example, if I don't use barrier this time, he's still going to get damage this turn.
He would take damage to any armor that he has because of the corrosion.
Okay. But he doesn't have armor at this moment, doesn't he?
He doesn't actually have corrosion there. I see a tab mentioning that the game is power chord over top of his health bar. So.
Oh. Yeah, I have the samurai string symbol and the Yeah.
Then you don't need to block for him. He'll be safe. You
Okay.
can use that barrier somewhere else.
Why is my Strum for the second turn? I see this card with dealing 0 damage. Did the card get affected by an enemy?
The character did.
Oh, the
So
character.
you can,
Yeah.
you can see
Of course,
that red
he
arrow
has
up above?
weakness. He has
Yep.
weakness. Yeah. And since it
The-
does 2 damage, isn't it?
Yep, so
Now
it's
it's turn
canceled
0.
out this turn.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that your rage damage for his other attack, it can't be weakened. So even if
The-
he's got that, you're still able to attack with him.
Yeah. So I'm going here and I'm going to give him this. Hmm. 4 damage. Okay. But now he's taking... Yeah, no. He needs a barrier. This guy is going to get poisoned. This guy is going to get... Okay, she healed. I think he's going to die now, at the beginning of his turn. Yeah, he did. Because poison damage is applied in the beginning of a turn, before
At
you
the
attack.
start, yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go Shiryu, have a nice commute home. Horns up for you then. So let's hit. Yeah, that's what you were saying. Okay, this moment he doesn't have weakness, but I noticed when he had weakness on, when Crushing Roar, the Crushing Roar card was in my hand. Since this was rage damage, the number wasn't diminished.
That's right. He's still able to hit with that. We want to give you as many options as we can to find different ways to attack or to get around the enemies.
Yeah. I'm going to lose my rage stance because he's going to attack me. Yes, I lost my rage stance. So if this wasn't as... he has 9. Yeah, you're going... Poison is our friend. DOTs are always DOTs, so let's hit him with this.
The poison
Still have
is-
to manage. Yeah.
The poison's great, and anytime you can use that augment card on a character who does multiple hits per attack.
Yeah.
Because of the way that it stacks up, that's going to be your friend is
Yeah.
finding ways to use that augment as much as you can.
I've
So you
been
put that on your
using
drummer.
it comboing with that basist card that gives 1 damage randomly to 3. So you give 3 times 3, which is a great combo.
Which
check,
makes
I don't
up for the fact that you can't aim it.
Let's see.
You're gonna be close.
Yeah, I killed him.
The poison.
I killed him, yeah.
You got it.
Nice, but my bassist is really struggling.
I believe on the map you had a healing node coming up if you wanted it.
Yeah, I have okay, I want... No, I'm going. Let's play it safe. This is a boss fight? Yeah, elite face off, yeah. Let's go!
So-
We're on track. Brimstone Bomb. Screeching Minion. I love the descriptions. A weak singer that can't hold a note alone but can power up its entire team. So he's a supporter. Okay. Self-destructs after 3 rounds, doing damage 6 to the enemy team. No, I don't want this. So, 20 damage. 20 damage is too much damage to... Decisions.
You have to decide if you can kill that within 3 turns or if you need to start worrying about defending.
I actually can't. So maybe I will try to vanquish the other guys. Yeah, let's do this.
If you go after that yellow singer there, that's
Yeah.
probably your best bet
Yeah,
because he's gonna power up the rest of them and probably give you some trouble.
Two. Okay, he's dead in 1 turn. Goodbye. Yes. And now poison. It's one turn, or it just keeps there.
The poison counts down 1 per turn. So you would do three poison damage the first turn, 2 the second, 1 the third. So if you're able to last long enough, that poison card is actually worth 6 damage. Do have that augment and dice roll, so that's a pretty powerful combination.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't waste this damage on the bomb because it's going to go off either way. Oh, the guy almost dies in the next turn, their guitar player. Yeah, 1. This is sad because he's going to die by himself next turn. So I'm going to have to protect my bass player because he's almost dying. Okay, so 3 damage, I attack first.
So you can use that curse to weaken the barrel's attack. And that's a little bit like blocking with everybody.
Yeah. Either way, I'm going to win this fight, so...
And that's the important part.
Wherever, and this turn is... Yeah. Okay, we survived. Epic support, rare support. Power fracture. Destroy single allies, barriers, and add 3 porch. Okay, yes, I want this. Because the other card was one play only. The exhaust one. Let's try our best against an elite. The Berserker. And... oh, that's the elite?
So the elites are the ones in there that have red glowing eyes. So in this case, all 3 of them are elite, but sometimes the battle can just be a few of the regular enemies that you've encountered and 1 or 2 elites. Usually though, it's a variation on the enemies you've seen. They might just have a bigger attack or a new attack. Fights are usually going to be your first real test of how good your deck building has been so far.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So you were saying that afterwards, when we have different band members, they will have different weaknesses and strength. Strength, is it?
It will. Every new band member comes with its own set of cards that nobody else can get. So you're able to build up different strategies for them where, like I said, the next drummer, you have the option of whether or not you want to block or use your charges to gain additional power and do bigger attacks. So you get to choose if you want to be aggressive or if you want to play it a little bit safer and be defensive. So every character is meant to really change the way that you're thinking about the strategy between your team.
Okay, let's see if I can. Okay. Oh, I just did something I shouldn't have done because she has armor now. Well, I have corrosion, and Stitch gains 1 armor each time she applies a buff, so let's not apply a buff.
You still get the benefit of the buff, you just don't necessarily get the armor bonus this time.
Okay.
So.
Deal 2 damage to a single. I can finish this guy off now. Yes, I can, and I'm going to do that. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No, I don't want this. God, didn't want to use this now, but I will. No, I won't. I'm still okay. 3-2 damage. Let's let's try this.
Always dice roll anytime it comes up.
And there
the base also has the advantage that their gear item will apply corrosion to anyone that you hit with them. So there's always a benefit to using that dice roll, especially when you're fighting against characters who have armor.
Okay.
He's basically getting an extra little bit of damage for free.
He's going to now it's okay, so I'm going to do this, barrier him, and then whoever has all of them have corrosion. Huh.
The corrosion, there's still a benefit sometimes to using armor even if you have corrosion. Because you'll take the hit first and the corrosion second.
Yeah.
So you're still able to block with it, you're just not able to save it to the next turn.
Okay. Patchan, that's really it. An exhaust card means that it gets out of your hand until the end of the battle. So in the next battle it will be all again on your deck, usable and playable. Oh, he can play cards twice. That's not good. So let's poison him.
You want to get rid of him.
This guy's a supporter.
You can also just, if you can do any health damage by breaking through his armor, you can get rid of that stance too. So it's important to try and make sure that enemies don't get to stay in stances too long, because they'll do some damage to you.
Yeah, the thing is, in this turn I have lots of support cards, so I have no offensive cards.
Then it's time to start blocking.
Yes, I'll have to do it. Who's going to take damage? Him. I'm going to add some... And I'm done. Oh god, my bassist is almost dying.
It's taking a little bit of a beating this time.
Okay. 18 damage!
Oh. It's rough. Taking some pretty big hits, so that barrier is gonna at least help get rid of 6 damage there.
Oof, but my team is pretty low. Let me check. 4. I'm gonna hit with an arterial bite. Dead. Okay. So now I can focus on this guy, give him a poison because poison is awesome. I can also... I save cards when I don't use them, or they are getting discarded when the turn ends.
The barriers discard at the end of the turn. That's what the unstable means in the description.
Yeah.
So you're not able to stock them up. But you can play them and you save them until the next time that character gets hit. You just have to take a bit of a gamble on who you think is going to be targeted.
Yeah.
Or who needs the most protection.
Luckily my drummer gives me a free barrier in my hand every single turn. So yeah, let's do this. Okay. My base player is going to pack a punch. This.
Now that you're down to a single enemy, it gets a bit easier to defend because you only have to worry about one target they're going after.
Okay. I think I can hit him like this. Ah. Done. Just 1 second, sorry. My mobile.
The important part is that you managed to survive your first elite fight.
Sorry, mobile phone was ringing, and I managed to survive with my full team. If one of my band members die, I have to go on with one less member.
You do. So if a member dies, you don't have access to their cards or their gear until you're able to bring them back. But you can bring them back at rest stops. So as long as you pick your path on the map, you're able to recover. We never wanted you to feel like it was pointless to move on because a character's dead. There's always a way to bring somebody back and to get back up to full strength.
By the way, do these gears stay? What I just gained will be off in the next run. Will it stay?
It stays as long as that character's alive.
Okay.
So each character has their own gear. Everybody's able to have 4 different items on them, and then it's applied directly to those characters. So you picked up the magic battery, which will give you some additional energy charges if you don't spend everything. So that means that if you end the turn with 1 energy left, your guitarist abilities are going to be cheaper next turn because he's picked up that charge. So it just kind of allows you to sort of decide if you want to use all of your energy this turn or if you want to benefit next time from it.
Okay. I just completely blocked every single damage that my bass player was going to get because I blocked and then I cursed their guitar player. So let's go.
Those are the fun moments when you're able to completely shut down an enemy team on this turn.
Oof. Wait, 9 damage to my guitar player. So what do I want to do? What I want to do is to at least mitigate some of the damage received, and
you have one benefit that at least the first hit he's going to take is one of the bigger ones. So your barrier's getting as much out of it as it can.
but I can also get I thought I would get rid of this guy. I completely misused this. Oh, I got hit of got rid of him. Okay, 4 damage. 3.
He's got his stance to attack twice, so
Yeah.
you want to knock him out of that as soon as you can.
How do I knock him out of his stance?
You have to do health damage from an attack. So right now, your best bet is putting augment on that dice roll, or augment on your base, and doing a bit of extra damage.
Yeah. Look of the draw.
Sometimes random doesn't work in your favor.
Yeah. So poison damage will do health damage.
Poison damage won't knock him out of his stance. It has to be from a hit.
Done.
You got the little health bonus as well for your singer there.
Yeah. Let me check if I can. I can kill both of them. Oh yeah. I'm happy with my deck. At this moment, how many different cards are there in Power Chord in this demo version?
In the demo, I'd say there's probably around 100 different abilities.
Oh.
You basically get about 40 abilities per character. However, right now we don't have all of the abilities in for each of the characters that you're seeing, so you're probably somewhere around 100 to choose from.
Have you noticed what's the average length of an average run on Power Chord?
Right now, because you're only playing the first map,
Yeah.
your average is probably going to be somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour, most of the time. As you get better, you're going to find that goes down, but most people on their first time getting to the boss are probably going to find it takes about an hour or maybe a little more. Something that we're going to be looking at in early access is just finding out what sort of run length seems like a good amount.
Yeah.
Because it's that combination of how long do you want to go for a run versus how many are you picking up enough cards that it got interesting.
Yeah.
If you're not picking up those cards, a shorter run won't be fun for you. So I wanted to make sure that you're getting enough to really start to steamroll the boss by the time you get there, hopefully.
Is this average run length inside your original idea for Power Chord?
It's similar. We kind of wanted to see that an individual map, if you know what you're doing, takes you probably a little under an hour. Again, experienced players are going to find that it goes much faster. But we wanted to keep it somewhere around the point where an experienced player can probably get through the entire game in 2-ish hours. But a new player doing it for the first time is definitely going to find that it takes them longer than that. Additionally, we don't expect to see anybody getting their way to the boss when they're new either. So those first few runs are definitely going to be longer until you really have some cards unlocked and know what you're doing.
So I think I'm going to lose in this round.
Gonna be a tough one for you. You might be able to pull it off.
Let's see.
Using that arterial bite can be just as good as blocking, just from getting that heal before she gets attacked.
Yeah. Oh, but she's getting 11. Okay. She can. Yeah, 9. Luckily, it's their frontman that is going to hit me 11. So I'm 9. So I'm gonna.
So that barrier is gonna do a lot of work for you.
I don't have enough energy to. At least.
You're going to want to get rid of that singer in the back row because he's about to apply power to the entire enemy team,
Yeah.
and you're going to get hit hard next time.
So I'm going to. Yeah. Let's do some. Armor soaks 1 damage for each armor value. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Armor is a direct 1 damage to one hit blocked.
Will I be able to pull this through? Let's see. Okay, 11 damage. It comes. Okay, 3. If he's going to get 3 from this, yeah, I can kill him now. This one, and then a strum. Yes. So he's going to die by the poison.
Perfect.
Yes, that's it.
Just as good as blocking.
So this guy is going to make a single ally guard this character. So he's going to take all the damage that was supposed to go to the bass player.
Yeah, so it'll actually be the other way around. That guitar at the front is
Yeah.
going to hide behind. He's going to hide, and the bass player is going to take his damage.
Okay.
That'll be his plan.
We have someone on our chat, Babelfish Await, saying, love the demo, picked it up because I love deck building roguelikes, and this one certainly sit well in the pack. Complexity seems on the lower side in the demo. Would you say that increases with the full game?
The complexity is going to increase as you unlock new player characters. So it's in their individual decks where you can start doing some really interesting things. For the demo and early on, we didn't want to start with the most complicated characters we're going to have in the game. We wanted to make sure that it's a little more new user friendly to start. Because I can tell you that if you immediately start the game and play with our next 4 characters that we're currently working on, it can feel like a lot right at the start as you're trying to learn. So early on, we wanted to focus on making sure that people could pick up the game, and you didn't have to be an expert in deck builders in order to start having some fun with it. But you'll definitely find that as you unlock some of the new characters, they're individually their strategies can become pretty interesting and pretty complex.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to pull this through. Yes.
A close one, but those are the fun ones.
Yeah.
And
So
we wanted to make sure that it's not about getting through a fight perfectly and blocking every hit. It's about surviving the fight, getting your health back, recovering, and sort of playing with that balance between keeping you on the edge of your seat and wondering how you're going to survive the next one. Because those really are the fights that are more fun.
he's dead. Oh yeah. Such a great game. Really.
We're glad that you're enjoying it. We're glad you survived that fight.
Such
Didn't
a
want it to end just yet.
I don't know if I had lost, I would say such a great game. No, of course I would say such a great game. I'm not a sore loser.
Everybody wants to get that win.
Yeah.
And that curse volley ability, that is a great one to have in your hand.
I just noticed we just got to our to the end of this streaming session. It's I've been saying this a lot during this Index 2021. Tomorrow is the last day of our live streams, but you're indeed, time flies when you're having fun. I was really invested in getting my band to this double-headed warrior slash boss. What does he play? Let me check if I can notice.
So
Is
So
he
that
what?
boss it's a drummer.
Oh, he's a drummer, yeah.
Yeah. So he's a giant two-headed drummer with a pair of massive clubs that he's going to use to beat you and to also beat the minions that he's spawning. So he will mess you up when you get there.
Looking forward to defeating him and to learning a lot more about Power Chord. It's an amazing deck builder. I think you're doing an amazing job on obviously a pretty crammed genre, but which genre isn't crammed in this moment?
At this point, it's find something you like
Yeah.
and make it, and just make sure you're enjoying yourself while you do it.
Yeah, and I still believe that one of the secrets, of course, it's hard for us to. Thank you, Alfonso. Thank you. For us, it's difficult to evaluate because we we do this all year, like diving into indie games, diving into some pretty mediocre indie games, and then finding really awesome indie games and writing about them and trying to showcase them. And it's always fun to to specifically notice what you were saying. I think the in at this time it's not only for indie games but for games in general, for content in general. Stay true to what you really want to do and do it as best possible. And have
Sorry, I think you might have cut out there.
did I?
I lost you for a little bit there.
Oh, do I?
That's okay.
Are we okay now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying for content in general, I think you must in this moment everyone is fighting for our time. And with the services like Xbox Game Pass, where you have both AAAs and indies release 0 day there, you don't have time for everything. And most of all, I think the way to break through is to have a really strong identity and do the best possible the game you are doing. Mokas is saying, and I have to admit, your art style is top notch. For someone who didn't actually play the game, I think it's then again its biggest selling point because well the we have a saying in Portuguese which is the ice eat. Do you understand what this?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a fact. You look at Power Chord and you're like, yeah, I want to try this because it looks awesome.
Well, that's one of the things we hope. And then once you get in there, we hope you notice how awesome it sounds too.
So where is the release date? Where are you aiming to in terms of release date?
So right now, the next date that we're looking for is when our early access is going to start. And that date is, it's not exact yet, but we're hoping that it will be early in the new year that early access is going to start. And what you're going to get at that point is what you had there, plus a new drummer to play with, and also the second stage and a new boss to fight as well. So we're working on that right now, trying to get all of that stuff cleaned up so that we can go into that first early access launch.
I noticed you were self-publishing. Are you still looking for a partnership in terms of publishing?
We're always listening, but right now the plan is to move forward with self-publishing unless somebody comes along with a great deal for us.
Yeah, I just noticed I'm 3 streams away of finishing my live sessions for 2021's IndieX, and I noticed I barely spoke about this year's B2B managed by Meet to Match, and I know some of our finalists are taking its possibilities, and I was curious about seeing where Power Chord is going. If you're aiming to do it by yourselves or looking for a strategic partner, but yeah, awesome.
I think Well, I think it's always you have to be ready to do it by yourself if you need to, but if the right publisher comes along, you always at least listen.
Yeah, for sure. Jamie, it was a pleasure. Power Chord is really fun. I know I today I was really lucky. Of course, I was playing a casual game, but in the middle. But I was able to play two of my favorite genres, both a city builder and a deck builder. So yeah, hooray for me on such a bad day where my monitor fried, and I was lucky enough to play two awesome games. Power Chord is an awesome game. Please, who's watching, go check it on Steam. If someone, Mokas, can you please, if you have it close to you, paste in the URL for Power Chord on Steam. Don't forget, our event will start on Steam in 2 days. Yeah, wishlist it because
Yes,
it's
please.
such a great deck builder with roguelike elements. And yeah, look at me. Um, I just grew my hair for the first time in my life. Now I'm almost getting to my 40s. I decided to get my hair fit my metalhead persona. And for all you metalheads and rockers around, go play Power Chord. This is the roguelike deck builder for you with such an awesome soundtrack. Jamie, Thanks a lot for being with us. It was a pleasure playing this awesome game with you by my virtual side and telling me all these complexities that the game has. And we would like to wish you all the best for Power Chord, truly, and for
Well,
I have to say, Big Blue Bubble. Yeah, Big Blue Bubble team.
well, thank you again for having us. I'm really glad you're enjoying the game.
So, from us, it's everything from today. Please tune in at 8, where our partner RTP is going to stream one of the games they did on their part. We're going to host it here. From us, it's the last stream of today, and we're going to close with a bang. We're closing with a bang, with a really loud heavy metal bang with power chord. Jamie and everyone on that side. See you all tomorrow, and good afternoon.